Hey everybody, it is John the Comic Guy, and today I want to share with you my 6 favorite Bronze Age comic book covers in my own personal collection. So if I don't own it, you're not going to see it. So stay tuned. Now, before I start, I want to give a shout out to AWO Comics because they kind of inspired me to actually go ahead and do this video. I have a little list of topics that I'd like to eventually get to, and this was one of them for the past year. But I saw AWO, which stands for Anthony, Will, and Owen. They're the McWhirter family out in the Southeast, and they have a YouTube channel. So if you check in the description, I'm putting their link. Please do give them a follow. It's a father and his 2 sons talking about comics. How can you go wrong with that? But that kind of inspired me to say, John, get off your butt and actually make these videos. So if you haven't seen last week's, check on a link above and you'll see my top 5 modern books. But today we're talking about my top 6 Bronze Age books. Why 6? Because I didn't have 10 that would actually meet this criteria that I love that I own. And again, there are a lot of great covers, obviously, but these are kind of taking it into my favorite. And I couldn't narrow it down to 5. So the first, I love it. It is Thor number 171 with the Wrecker. From the day I got this comic, and I'm always shocked, right? We always end out, I think, swaying our own opinions on things. And I saw this cover and loved it. And every time I see it for sale, cheap, I'm shocked. I'm utterly shocked because I think it's such a great cover. This is a mid-grade copy, 6.5 in my own custom label, but I love it. Thor number 171 with the Wrecker. I just think it is a great looking cover. The color, everything about it, I really like it. Thor 171. The next kind of fits that as well. The day I got this comic, I saw it, and as you can imagine, all these books I ended up getting in collections for the past 25, 30 years. But this one is Avengers number 67 with Ultron. I love it. Look at Ultron. I mean, it is so dynamic with the power crackle. God, I'm telling you, I look at this and then I see it for sale and it's selling for so cheap. So let me know with Thor 171 and with Avengers number 67, what do you think of these covers? Pardon me. Do you not find these to be beautiful covers? I love it. The color, the power crackle. Let me know. And again, I understand this is all subjective, right? This is my favorite in my own collection, but I'm always shocked that these things are selling so inexpensively. It's like nobody really loves them like I do. But I think everyone can agree this is a great cover. Iron Man number 150. Oofda. Man, it's a great cover. I love Dr. Doom and Iron Man facing off. I only came across this pretty recently in the past year. Before that, I never owned it, but man, this is a great cover. What do you think? Is this one of the books that you would have picked? Iron Man number 150. Man, I love it. The next I've shown before and I've talked about because this is one of certainly my favorite covers. Thor number 337 in a comic skin with my own label. And by the way, inside, I got this signed by Walt Simonson with Ernie, but I had him sign the inside. At the time, I didn't think I wanted him to do the outside cover. Now, I have a little bit of remorse. I wish he did sign the outside, but what are you going to do? But is that not beautiful? Let me just quickly give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Comic Skin, comicskin.com. Mark out a Comic Skin to give it 5% off. So at checkout, if you type in coupon code John the Comic Guy 5, John the Comic Guy 5, you'll get 5% off the singles, the 5-packs, and the 10-packs. So Mark, thank you much, brother. I appreciate you. Thor number 337. I love that cover. It just shakes it all up. I just think it's amazing. The next, this is one I got from the Providence collection. It upgraded an upgrade that I had, but this is the Amazing Spider-Man 123. I always thought this Luke Cage cover was sick. I love it. So, I have found Luke Cage covers to begin with are pretty darn dynamic. I like them. And then him being a guest on in the Amazing Spider-Man in issue 123, they really did a great job. I think it's a great cover. What do you guys think? Is this a cover that appeals to you? It certainly appeals to me. Spidey 123 with Luke Cage. Last but not least, but then I'm going to give a couple of interesting honorable mentions, so stay tuned. Interesting and honorable mentions. I would say my favorite Bronze Age cover is Hulk number 141 with Doc Samson. I love this. Again, I put this in a top loader with my own custom label. It's a low grade, but I love it. I don't see this around that much, and this is not a cheap book. So again, Doc Samson and Hulk number 141. This is, in terms of Bronze Age, the book that I think is such a cool looking cover. My favorite, in fact. What do you think? Do you like this? And again, the last three could have gone, right? Could have gone either way. With Walt Simonson's Thor, right? But I had to pick. So I'm choosing this as my number one. Again, Hulk 141, Doc Samson and the Hulk. I love this cover. Now, hold on. Before you disconnect, let me just share. I have two honorable mentions. And the reason I'm doing these honorable mentions is because these are Bronze Age books, which I think have the ugliest covers. The ugliest covers. I am so unimpressed by these covers, but, they got value. So the first is Hulk number 271, the first Rocket Raccoon. Look at Rocket Raccoon in that. I don't know. Even in the Hulk, it's like, what do you think? All right, tell me. Am I being too judgmental? Do you guys like this cover? I think it's ugly. I keep it because it's a part of my run. Certainly because it's a key. I like the Guardians of the Galaxy, and I dig Rocket Raccoon when it looks like a Rocket Raccoon. But in this case, no bueno. I'm not a big fan. Last but not least, everybody, and I want to thank you for watching. It is I think, in the Bronze Age, that especially because it has value, it's one of the most unappealing covers I can imagine. It's Omega Men number 3 with the first Lobo. I love Lobo, right? Everybody knows I'm a Lobo fan, but I don't know. Those are kind of wonky colors for his initial uniform, and I don't know. I am unimpressed by this cover, but yet I keep it because it's Lobo. I'm a big Lobo fan, but what do you think, guys? Let me know what you think. Do you agree? So tell me a couple of things. First is, do you agree with me in the covers that I chose? What covers would you say are the best of the Bronze Age? And also, do you agree with me that these two covers are not that appealing, right? I mean, again, they warrant some price because of their first appearance of Rocket Raccoon and Lobo, but they just don't do it for me. Anyway, guys, if you like this content, please hit the like button. I would appreciate it if you make comments. I'm always curious on if these are just my weirdness OCD side, or no, you could see what I love in those covers or what I don't like in those particular covers. And certainly feel free to share this if you know any comic book people that are into YouTube. And finally, guys, I would always always ask you to please hit the subscribe button. Everybody, I really do appreciate you, and I'm going to talk to you soon.
No drops at all. Okay?